Welcome back to the channel of Truth, Trust, and Transparency. Today, I'm making this video dedicated to any one of you that says that they do not have the time, especially when it comes to property. And I want to tell you a couple of techniques that I use to have the time. And I want to tell you also a good dose of reality. And I always say this channel is about this channel is about truth. So it's about time you heard it from me. And the best thing about recording this as a YouTube video, that it not only goes out to my 48 subscribers and gets 100 views, but it remains as a digital piece of content that I can link and send to people when they give me BS excuses. Perfect example I will give you, and I'll tell you a story about a manager that I used to work with. Great friend of mine, the type of manager as well that always wanted the best for me and not for the company. He's like, I want to see you grow and develop. And he's like, I want to see you become a really good human being. Oh, that's actually a sign, I think, of a really good manager. Anyway, he is the perfect example of someone that makes the excuse of, I don't have the time. And a lot of you guys say it. I hear it in calls with people that want to sign up for the course. I hear it, a lot of people with their property staff or with their property journey, or that are looking to outsource things to a buyer's agent. Now, when I left this particular manager, I said to him at the start of this year, hey, look. He's very more advanced in his career than me, has access to a lot of people, a lot of money. We're both coming from the property development background. And, he was really inspired by my move to go out on my own and start developing and be able to run and do my own projects. And he goes, yeah, look, oh man, I don't have the time. And I digged into this a little bit further. He's got some kids, and I'll be quite honest, I don't have kids. So if you're watching this with kids and you go, it's easy for him, he doesn't have kids, just please do me a favor and listen. So anyway, I said to him, okay, well, look, run me through your day. When is it? When do the kids get up and when do the kids go to sleep and all that kind of stuff? What we sort of got down to the fact that the kids woke up about 6:30 in the morning. I said, okay, well, what about any time before that? He goes, I'm sleeping. I said, okay, but what if you were to wake up early and get an extra hour and a half uninterrupted time each morning? Oh, yeah, I suppose so. I said, what time the kids go to bed? Oh, about 8 p.m. the kids go to bed. I said, okay, so you have a few hours in your evening then to be able to carve out. The kids are in bed. You have nothing else to do. You've done everything. He goes, oh, yeah, but that's my downtime. I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point. You build the 5 to 9 during 5 to 9 hours, or 5 to 10, or 5 to 1 a.m. I used to work in an office and go home and run the Everything Property podcast. Most nights I was up to 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. running DAs, doing the podcast, doing a whole bunch of shit, finding that time. And I said to him, make me a promise. When I left January of this year, I said to him, make me a promise. And he goes, what? And I go, I promise you dinner. I'll shake your hand, promise you dinner. I will message you in 6 months' time. I'll give you 6 months to have a crack at this goal that you've got. He wanted to do a special, he was looking into development and a special sort of type and sort of development strategy. And I said, look, why don't you buckle down for 6 months? Just put the time away, find those hours here and there. You've got to commute to work as well. Find those hours, and in 6 months, let's catch up. I'm going to make you a bet. We'll catch up for dinner in 6 months. I'm going to make you a bet that if you've done anything on that, any substantial work on that, I'll shout dinner. But if you've done nothing in 6 months' time, you will shout me dinner. And anyway, I rang him a few months ago to check in on him, and lo and behold, he had not done the work. Time had escaped him. Oh, man, I've just been busy. I've just been flat out. Guys, it's the same excuses from everyone that I hear. If you choose to find and carve out the time, you will find that you do. My question to you is going to be, and if you're sitting here watching this video saying, You've either told me that you don't have the time, or you're saying to yourself, I don't have the time. A couple of strategies. The first is going to be time block. What do I mean by that? You need to allocate certain times in your day to be able to do certain things. Now, if you work a 9-to-5 job, like most of us, you've got an hour lunchtime that maybe you can utilize. You've got a commute to work as well. I used to drive from Camden to MacArthur train station and go from MacArthur into the city every day for 5-6 years. And I carved out an hour on the train each way, each day, so 2 hours a day, just to do, I used to do freelance graphic design stuff. So I used to do that on the train, send it out to the clients and get their feedback. By the time they come back to me, I could either finish that stuff in my lunch break and send it back to him, or after hours or at that 5-6 p.m. time slot, send it back to him. So I was able to carve out time. If you time block out your day, first, if you have a 9-to-5, I get it. It's hard. It's difficult. And you might work slightly longer hours. You have time on the weekend. You have Saturdays. You have Sundays. Time block out. You have a lunchtime break. What can you achieve in your lunchtime break? Majority of us, we're commuting to work. A lot of us don't live where we work. If you're not lucky enough to live on top of or live extremely close to where you work, you'll be having some sort of commute, 30, 60, 90 minutes. My commute was 2 hours each way, each day. Carve out portions of that to do and put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort. With property investing, you might only need to do that period. I've said it before on this channel in front of this whiteboard, is that live your life in seasons. There's going to be seasons where it's going to be where you're going to have to be kicking off 6 hours of sleep. You're going to have to be kicking off a little bit less than what you're used to. There's going to be some seasons where you have to get up early in the morning, or there's going to be seasons where, you have to put in and find that work. You might only be buying one property a year. So realistically, you're only putting in that time, effort, and work for a few months. Now, my question to you would be, and let's reshape the question of outsourcing to a buyer's agent. If I gave you $25,000 to put in the work to research and find your own investment property, would you do it? $25,000 to just utilize those hours in a day. Most of you would. If there was a check with $25,000 on it, most of you would. But you choose the lazy option and you go, oh yeah, I'll give it to someone else to outsource and handle. And the person that you're handballing it to probably doesn't have the skills or experience and is probably in a position like you, but cares less because it's not about them. It's not their house, that the investment they're looking at. It's a tick and flick for them. It's a churn and burn. It's to get you in and out. No one's going to care as much as you. Second's going to be wake up earlier. Sounds boring and honestly sounds average, but to be honest, I've started doing this, starting my day at the gym extremely early. And I think it's what you find, right? If you're getting up at sort of like 5:30 a.m., you get in the gym, you're getting home. You've already accomplished that hard thing of the day. You've got that momentum and you've then got a break. And then you've got time where it's 7 a.m. and, I've got 2 hours until my 9-to-5 starts. So if you live close to work and it's a 15-20 minute commute, then you've just built yourself hour and a half there. Or if you've got a commute and you go, oh, Dave, but, I've got a commute. Okay, well, if you're driving to work, can you listen to podcasts? Can you listen to a course? Can you listen to YouTube videos? Or if it is you've finished that education piece and you need to call agents, let's break that down for a sec. You go into whatever, let's just say a random suburb, and you go, okay, Dave, there's 40 agents in this suburb that I know are on my list to be able to build that relationship and that off market with. 3 minutes, 3-minute phone call to each of those agents. That is 120 minutes. That's 2 hours, right? You need to find 2 hours a week to call agents. And if your commute is 30 minutes each way each day, and you've got a lunch break, there's 2 hours in a day that I can carve out to call agents. So it's not about, Dave, it's not about no time. It's about finding the time in your day. If you say that you're working 12, 14, 16 hours a day, then, and maybe you're a business owner, you're self-employed or anything like that, what you got to look at it as well is what jobs are you doing that aren't worth your hourly rate, that you can outsource for a cheaper rate. So what do I mean by that? If you've got a stack of admin stuff and it's taking up 3 or 4 hours, let's just say it's taking up 3 hours of your day, can you outsource that for $25 an hour? Because that's $75 I pay and I get 3 hours back in my day. Or you're going to say that's not enough. Okay, well, $30 an hour. That's $90 I can pay someone, part-time or contract, to come in and do that administration work or do whatever it is. $90 a day. And I have bought myself 3 hours. So then you can put more money into your business and those dollar productive areas for $90 a day. And you can also reserve that sort of time to be doing the property related stuff. Remember, you might only be buying 1 or 2 properties a year. So you only have 2 months worth of work that you have to do this for, 8 weeks. And then if I'm saying it's costing you $25,000, do the maths. I think everyone is capable of finding the hours that they need to be able to invest in property in their week. I don't think for 99% of people that watch this video, I don't think that your life is too busy. And I get that you've got kids, but let's be strategic. On the weekend, are you hanging out with them 24/7? Is there time where your kids are napping? Is there time where they go see their grandparents? Is there time that they're in, any sort of aftercare, school care, any of that on the weekends or during the week? You're going to be able to find those opportunities. And it's just about being extremely useful with your time. It is jumping off social media. It is not watching Netflix 24/7. If you say that you have no time, do me a favor. Jump on your phone and go look at the screen time that you've been using your phone for. Because I guarantee a lot of you go, oh, I only use it for a few hours. Then you open it up. Then it's 6 or 8 hours that you've been using your phone a day. You can find the time. It's just whether or not. It's not about finding time. It's about making the choice. Do I want to make the choice to do this, or do I want to give up and do and try to go the easy way about it? That's the high risk. You can beat so many people in life, in the world of business, if you are just a motherfucker that gets out there, that does and puts in the hard work. Now, I'm not sure if she'll watch this, but I'll shout out a member of our course. Her name's Brooke. She lives in Perth. Brooke has a young family and a husband. She works shift work. She's a paramedic. She is an absolute legend. She puts in the hard yards. She wakes up at 4 a.m. because she goes to me, and we said this on a call the other day. She goes, Dave, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I know I've got 2 hours of absolute bliss, peace time, of absolute bliss, peacefulness to be able to knock out the course. And she's completed this thing. Now, our course is about 32 hours worth of content. She's completed this thing in a matter of weeks and is now already onto this suburb research. Now, once she gets that done, it's just about finding that time during the week to call the agents, and to quickly review stuff. But Brooke is a perfect example of someone that has made the choice to invest in her future, has made the choice to invest in every day that she has. She knows that it's not going to be waking up at 4 a.m. forever to do courses and property research. Might only be once a year. It might only be a couple times a year. But she's making that choice. So a lot of you out there that are saying you don't have time, bullshit. And if you think, if after this video you still say, oh, Dave, I don't have time, then send me a message on Instagram. Send me a message on LinkedIn, and let's go through your day. Let's go through what you do. Let's go through where you spend your time. Let's go through what you spend your money on, because the results that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. It's always, guys, I'll say it before, I said it before, I'll say it again. Live your life in seasons, guys. Live your life in seasons. Property investing is just that other season. Is getting there. You're putting in that hard work, a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months. But after that, the property's rented out. Then it might be, okay, I'm going to wait 12 months, save up another deposit. Then there's nothing else you need to do. There's the occasional email from the property manager. There's tax time. There's nothing. But you're saving yourself $20,000 to $25,000 up front doing that. And also remember, there is $5, $6, $7, $8, $900,000 on the line. This isn't something where, you can't find the time to research, what brand of bread that you want to buy from the supermarket so you can save $1. The biggest investment you'll ever make in your life is buying probably that investment property and or your PPR. So why wouldn't you put the time and effort into researching that rather than just try to blindly outsource it to someone that you somehow trust because you've seen them anywhere? Put the time and effort into it. Make that conscious decision. Make that conscious choice. Run your life in a season. Time block out and review your day. Review your week. Outsource those dollar productive tasks that are shitty, cheap little things that you can get someone for $25, $30 an hour on if you're self-employed or if you've got any sort of business. Do that, my friends, and I guarantee you realize how much more time you've got. Wake up earlier as well. Then you realize how much more time you have to invest, to get it done. And then you can send me a message afterwards, after you've put in the time and effort, and go, Dave, thank you so much. I watched your video. I put in the effort. And I say it again, we're in September. We're in mid-September. We're reaching the perfect time of the year for you guys to kick into gear. Everyone's starting to shut down. Everyone's starting to doze off. This time of the year is crucial. There's going to be deals available to those people that are awake, that are churning at the bit, and are looking for them. So put in the hard work now, next couple of months, then celebrate Christmas, celebrate end of year, New Year's, everything, knowing you've got a property purchase under your belt and the compound growth clock has started. As always, questions, queries, thoughts, emotions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.